All right, welcome in, welcome in. How we doing, guys? We are just getting started, so give it a minute. We are fresh out of the No King's Day demonstration here in San Diego. It went incredibly. So, welcome in and welcome YouTube to you as well. We are live streaming to both, but give me 1 second. I'm going to share this out. How is everybody doing today? Let me know in the comments. Cujo, what's up? Hello, hello. Ryan, hello. How we doing? Can everyone hear me? Let me know. Having a little bit of trouble with my lav mic today, so if you can't, please let me know. But Jolena, Thor, hello everybody. It's nice to see everyone. And again, we are live on YouTube. Again, it is successful. We reset up um, the stream key, so we're good. So keep hitting the like button. Obviously, every 1,000 likes, we're gonna visit our dear friend Penelope. But you're my favorite person too. And Ryan, thank you so much for tuning in over on YouTube as well. I really do appreciate your support on both platforms. But how is everyone? Put in the comments if you got to go to a No King's Day demonstration yourself. I read that police are saying here in San Diego that there's an estimated 40,000 people that showed up to the protest I was at. It was beautiful. It was great to be surrounded by like minded people. And keep in mind, 40,000 might sound small in comparison to like New York or something. However, we had 12 different demonstrations across the county, and that 40,000 was at the one protest alone. So I'll take it. But happy Saturday, everyone. I thought I would jump on for an hour or so just to check in. It's been a while. We've got a little bit of energy, even though I didn't sleep last night. So let's get it going in the comments. What do you guys want to talk about? How is your weekend going? Let me hear it. And also, I would love Penelope right now. So the quicker you hit those like buttons, the better. But yeah, no, it's nice to see each and every one of you. And I very much hope that you're having a great weekend. Trip, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. And guys, keep in mind, because I did take a break for a little bit from my lives, that it's probably going to be a slow crowd. We also don't normally go live at this time, and it wasn't announced until about 30 minutes before. So it could be a slow one, but that just means that we all get to talk to each other in a more intimate way. So let me know in the comments. Don't be shy. Please do hit those likes, but don't be shy. Put what you want to talk about in the comments. We will get it going. Um, but yeah, it was pretty great today to be able to experience that. And shout out, I don't think she's on here, but Obscure Cupcake, who pops in from time to time, my friend Sarah, that's who I went to the demonstration with. So shout out to her because it's my first time actually going to the No King's Day with someone. The first time I was in DC, and we all know how that went. And then the second time, it was a smaller turnout in San Diego, but I was still there, still got a few videos, and today was just fucking extraordinary. So I feel a little reinvigorated. So take advantage of it. But what you want to talk about in the comments, we'll get it going. But we did hit 1,000. So we're gonna Jax, what's up? Welcome in, by the way. We are going to visit our dear friend Penelope. Feel free to join if you would like, and if not, I'll see you in 5 seconds. And we're back, just like that. So, I'll be honest, I have not seen any news today because I had to get up early and finish prepping to get footage. Also, sorry, there were so many people downtown. I tried to go live and it was terrible. Like the quality was really bad, so I cut it off. But we're here now. Let's see. So apparently there are more than 3,000 events scheduled today for No Kings, just so you guys know. Um, that's basically all that article says, to be fair. But how was your guys' week? What's going on in your states? What haven't we talked about in a while that you want to? You guys are being real shy in the chat, but we already hit 2K, so I'm going to visit Penelope again. Dr. Duncanstein or Duncanstein, hello, welcome in. And welcome in to everyone. Bernie, it's nice to see you. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the likes. Apparently the Senate unanimously passed the DHS funding bill excluding ICE and Border Patrol, moving to end the airport crisis. However, I've heard that this didn't pass. So I've got to look more into this because I heard that it's going to be extended now because a lot of senators fled Washington, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Um, But yeah, you guys are being real shy in the comments today. I'm trying to keep the conversation going. Keep in mind, I've been yelling for about 2 hours. But yeah, just let me know, guys, what you want to talk about. Let's see. Tiger Woods got into another DUI. How he still has a license, I don't know. Um, Officer fired after fatally pew-pewing a man in a mental health crisis as others tried to de-escalate. Ooh. So this happened on February 27th. And the officer was Joseph Magnano. It's kind of a cool last name though. Yeah, Jones's sister had called 911 for help as he was having a mental health crisis and had a knife. Um, and as others tried to de-escalate, the officer chose to act inappropriately yet again. But guys, please repost this, share this out with your friends. We're gonna get some people in here. Um, it's crazy. There was actually someone, we were leaving No King's Day, and there was someone that said they had a sign in front of us, seemed really cool, like we were like joking around about affordability and everything because we live in San Diego where gas prices are over $6 a gallon now. And some lady starts screaming from her balcony because the girl had a sign that said, I don't remember exactly what it said, but basically it said stop BOM being Iran. And then the girl from the balcony was yelling at her saying that she wasn't Iranian and she can't say things like that and she doesn't know anything she's talking about. Michael, thank you for the heart me. And then the girl meets her in foreign tongue because the girl was Iranian. And they yelled at each other for like 6 minutes. So it was a very interesting end to the No King's Day, but I'm always here for drama. The whole thing sounds tragic. Wait, which whole thing? We've talked about a few things. Let's see. I still can't believe we're having a fucking cage match on the White House lawn. It's just the ultimate white trash thing I've ever heard in my life, but I digress. Um, Not a lot of news is going on, weirdly enough. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot, guys. If you guys have heard anything going on in the news today that I haven't touched on, let me know. Grayson over on YouTube says I'll be officially leaving America and going back home because of America. Yeah, no, I get it. Grayson is from Ecuador and is a frequent visitor, so thank you so much. Um you guys are super, super quiet today. I'm in shock. I need your help. Let's keep this conversation going. I'm really going to try to stay on for an hour, but I need your help with it. Grayson over on YouTube says, my family is just hammering out the last few logistics for me, and then I will be gone. Well, Grayson, wherever you end up, you are always part of the Red, White, and WTF family, and I hope we continue to speak. But if you're new here, my name's Dana. This is Red, White, and WTF, and my political beliefs aren't all that political. I just think that anyone should be able to do whatever they want as long as um, no lives or no one or anything is harmed or unalived or impedes on or takes away the rights of others. I also share the belief that the working class people should have affordable and accessible food, healthcare, housing, and education. Michael says, hey to what? What if they're invaders in Y country, invaders in Y country? What are you talking about? If you're who's invading your country and where is your country? Just wondering before we get into this. I want to know my specific. The Indians, etc. Hello, just missed your live. No, Michael, you are here. We are just getting started. You are a-okay. So you live in America, calling it your country. Let's keep in mind how it became your country. And I do say this as a veteran who served 6 years in the Navy and deployed before you start any of that patriotic bullshit. You want to say people are invading. Well, what we're dealing with worldwide right now, Earl, is a birthing crisis. And this is not unique to America. It's happening all over. Less people are having babies, obviously, because of what's going on in society. Who would want to bring up a child right now? Just saying. Now, let's get forward to what that means. If we have no one entering the workforce, it makes capitalism very hard to maintain with the oligarchs. Now, America has a unique opportunity, since you want to talk about invaders. And because we have always branded ourselves on being a melting pot and that we're stronger with diversity, if we actually reformed our immigration process, making it cheaper and quicker and more accessible, I'm not saying open borders. I think people should still be vetted, but our system right now is heavily flawed. But if we reformed that and allowed for quicker immigration, people enter the workforce automatically because the minimum or the median age of people entering this country from others trying to obtain citizenship is 18 to 45. That's people already in the workforce. Adding to it, boom. If those people have children, even fucking better. So don't try to say, oh, they're trying to replace us. They're trying to replace us. What you are saying is that you think white people should be a superior race. That is exactly what you're saying. You want to say this is a Christian nation? No. This nation, in the fucked up way it was formed because they didn't want to pay single digit taxes and they also were running from a religious monarchy. That is why they said separation of church and state. You can absolutely worship any way you want to. I'm not going to look down on you. But we are a secular nation. We have always been a secular nation, and we will always be a secular nation because we are a melting pot and welcome multiple religions, no religion, and it should be okay because religion and your religious experience should be a private and personal thing. Plain and fucking simple. Because before America was called America, it was called Turtle Island, and you should really look it up. We didn't found this country. The country was already here. You're acting like we came to this country that people had already discovered. Many people had already discovered, by the way. We started making all of these invisible borders. We made different countries, all so rich people could get richer and poor would be disenfranchised. This isn't about color. This isn't about anything like that. It has always been the rich versus the poor. The systemic problems have started from the very beginning. And you perpetuate the problem with your ways of thinking. And that's the best way and nicest way I can put it. I mean, like we started the organization. What organization? But also the we that you're talking about specifically wrote in the separation of church and state. I don't understand. And guys, we're almost at 10K where I'll visit Penelope again. But Grayson, we will miss you when you are gone. I see you over on YouTube. We will miss you, but as always, you are always welcome. That's what I want to know is who is we? Just saying. Because you want to act like you have a lot of knowledge, and maybe you do. I'm giving you an opportunity to drop that knowledge, but I'm hearing crickets. So, do you know or do you not? Did you not know that people lived here before? We like the founders of the country. Well, you're not a founder. Just saying, that's not a we, that's a they. And the founders of this country specifically wrote in the separation of church and state because we are a what? Everyone? A secular nation. Now, am I saying no one should be religious? No one should worship? I'm not. That's completely your choice. But it should never influence laws in a land where we have always been taught to embrace diversity, difference of religion, and no religion. We are supposed to respect each other and we should love that we are filled with different cultures and we should respect that. And one religion that is not shared by everyone should not be determining any fucking laws that has to affect every fucking person. If you don't like AB, it's simple. Don't have an AB. That's all you got to do. If I don't like racists, I don't hang out with racists. I hope I can be as much of an anti racist as possible and try to educate myself as much as possible, but I'm not going to surround myself with that and then complain about it. What I am going to do is take action to fix those things. You literally brought up Christianity. What are you talking about? No one said anything about religion. You said they're trying to reduce us. And then you talked about us being a Christian nation. We have never been a Christian nation. We have always been secular from the fucking beginning. They literally were running from taxes and a religious monarchy. Like, what the fuck don't you understand? I do not get it. What you're not getting here. Every point you have said, I have given you counterfacts, disproving everything. And then you just repeat the argument. Kind of weird, bro. Kind of weird. So I am seeing a new story because, like I told you guys, I heard that the shutdown is going to continue, but it's because the House rejected the Senate DHS bill. They passed a short-term funding patch, but nothing's been approved so far. So we are still technically in um, a shutdown. White Christians are immigrants as well. Exactly. Exactly. We're all immigrants. We all came here. I mean, Earl, if you're still even in here, can you tell me from what land did immigrants come who were then on the receiving end of the largest lynching in the country's history? Can I respond without being muted every 5 minutes? I'm not muting anyone. But when you say the same argument, it looks like spam and you get muted. So either have something to add to the argument or say something new. Pretty easy, Earl. Pretty easy. And again, every time you've responded, cut muted for 1 minute. Add or leave. Ooh, my mods are on it today. I'm gonna miss y'all more than anything, and it's gonna suck. But I will still debate with you guys, and I will still come back to YouTube. We love that, Grayson, because the problems that are happening in America right now, the American government is causing problems all over the world. So this is more than just an American issue. I think everyone from opposing countries should all be part of these chats. Shouldn't they assimilate? Who is they? We didn't assimilate. We G-sided indigenous people. That wasn't assimilation. You don't hold the standard for yourself. Our shared culture is diversity. That's what you're not getting, Earl. We live in America. America is branded as being a melting pot, that we are stronger with the more diverse cultures that we have. Our shared culture is diversity. Assimilate, we pay taxes. What's up, Robin? Because of 350 years ago, not all diversity is good. First of all, give me an example, please. Just just looking for a quick example. I'm going to take it slow. I'm not going to be reactive, but Grayson over on YouTube says, I'm sorry it has to end this way. I didn't want to have to make this call. Trust me, if I didn't have to make the decision, I wouldn't have, but I just can't hope for this chaos to end. I totally get it. And lately, Grayson, I've been feeling very hopeless too. Today, thankfully, being surrounded by 40,000 like-minded individuals has given me a little bit of fire, but yeah. Is that good is what good what are you referring to? Is what good diversity? And by the way, Earl, it's Italians. Italians were on the receiving end of the biggest lynching in America because, fun fact, Irish and Italian, when they immigrated here, so I'm Irish Italian, I am an immigrant, um, they were not considered fully white. Yet here we are today. I tried going into your live earlier. Yeah, my service downtown, because there were so many people, it was just trash. And you have like buildings on one side and ships and boats on the other. So all of that steel just kind of blocks out. So sorry about that. What about the ones littering the beach? First of all, I see more white people leaving litter on the beach than anyone. What are you talking about? Like, is this a troll? Like, am I getting trolled right now? Like, this cannot be real. To go from talking about diversity to talking about littering on a beach? What? What? I live by multiple beaches. I got a lot of eyes on people that look a lot like me littering way more than anyone else. But anyways, guys, we're almost at 20K. Holy shit. Thank you guys so, so, so much. We are only 23 minutes in. We're going to try to keep this conversation going, but I'm going to visit Penelope really quick. Earl, still looking for you to add to the argument because you have talked about religion. I countered your religion because we're a secular nation. You've talked about diversity. I countered diversity because we're a multicultural nation and we thrive on diversity. And then you said bad diversity was the ones littering on the beach. I'm I'm having as much I'm having as much trouble following Earl's. I'm waiting for your example of how diversity's bad. I asked, give me an example of bad diversity, and I'll hear you on it. But when I say diversity, I mean multiculturalism. I mean equal treatment. All through the Indians. What the fuck are you, what are you talking about? Because if you're talking about people from India, I'm not sure what the correlation is. And also, if you're speaking of indigenous people, what about people from India? Everyone I fucking met from India, and I actually have a coworker from India, is cool as fuck. Why would their diversity be bad? It's like kind of weird. Like I don't understand, and I'm having such a hard time following this as I am when I heard the or I saw the headline that said quadruple amputee professional cornhole player arrested on alleged charges of pew-pewing someone in his passenger seat. Yep, that's just one example. I said, give me an example of what you would consider bad diversity. And you said people from India. So how? Oh, really, Lauren? Dude, I read that and I literally thought I was stroking out. I was like, how is this possible? I still don't get it. I I don't get it, but hey, this is the timeline we're on, guys. Grayson over on YouTube lovingly says, I refuse to give up hope for you guys, and we appreciate that because right now we all need to remain hopeful because there is light at the end of the tunnel. It seems dim a lot of days, but today reminds us why we keep doing it. Most engineers here in the US are Asian. Without them, we'd be gone. Without them, Americans would do it. Okay. Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah. There's a reason that we have the the genius visas. I forget like the actual code that it is. It's because we bring over prodigies because our education system is terrible and we need smarter people. Sarah, hello. Thank you for the rose and welcome in. Glad you made it safe back from No King's Day. Guys, this is who I told you I went to No King's Day with today. Diversity is in our Constitution, literally. They treat who like slaves? What are you? Say a complete thought. You're speaking in segments and your segments do not flow well. Like I'm so confused. You're horrible at explaining yourself. So Sarah, just so you're caught up, Earl keeps saying that diversity is bad and that we're a Christian nation. What else has he been saying? There's been a lot of things. I've disproven every single fact easily, but still. Then why does everything about a H-1B company and any others has to be redone by a US citizen? I think that you are simply in just a situation. Like you think there's not situations where in other countries Americans do something that other people haven't had to fix before. Like you think we're perfect. I'm not Christian, I'm Jewish. I said you were bringing up being a Christian nation. You said that. I was literally saying what you said. I did not say you were a Christian. I said you said that we were a Christian nation. And you said we a lot, so you included yourself in that. Just saying. Clock that, Earl. Ooh. um but yeah, like this is really weird. I'm still confused about those from India, how that's being bad that they're from India. Like first of all, you can't choose where you were born. Like, none of us have that. I can't choose that I was born here. They can't choose that they were born there. But just because we're in the same state doesn't make me better than them because our country is seen as, more successful. Like, it's really weird. What the fuck is happening? Oh my gosh. I don't understand what's going on in the chat. Is he stroking out? Should we call 911? Real question. Because what? I am very confused. But guys, we are at almost 25,000. At 25, I will visit Penelope again. Thank you so much. We got about 30 minutes in here. It's like a train wreck. I should look away, but I can't. Same. I keep engaging in it and I should just like ignore him. But like I'm just trying to follow his train of thought and I can't even do that. 3 followers has to be big. Oh, has to be a bot. Probably. I fall for bot shit a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I almost actually fell for a scam the other day because someone left a voicemail and it was like saying that I was being sued for being incompliant with something. And the reason I almost thought it was real is because I've had to update my rental insurance recently and I was worried that it didn't go through. But no, it's a scam. But I didn't get scammed though, thankfully. Let's see. I've never believed people are born. Wait, oh. When the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, they wrote it without clarifying because the entire Western world was only what? That's that's crazy. That's just a crazy thing to say, and I'm not even going to entertain it because I just like it doesn't even properly represent our history. What do you mean? Like I'm I'm quite confused, everyone. I'm quite confused. Oh yeah, no, I don't think no. Racism is a learned behavior through and through. I am a living example. I'll explain what I mean by that. I grew up in a town where people use the hard R regularly. Um, in a home where my father used the hard R regularly. However, I have never said that word, thankfully. Am I a perfect person? Absolutely not. Have I had to grow a lot? Did I have to learn about what white privilege is and all of this? Absolutely. But that proves that racism is a learned behavior because I didn't learn that behavior. I learned the opposite. Let me try again. But no. I get what you're saying. You don't believe that people are born racist, and I agree. I think it is definitely a learned behavior. Yeah. No, but I agree with you. And here, what? Thank you so much for the Rosa. Nice to see you. It's nice to see all of you again, by the way. We got about 16 people in here. I appreciate you all. Judeo Christian nation. No, we're not. We're literally not. We are a secular nation. That is what we are. That is how our Constitution is written. That is what we fucking are. We are a secular nation. Secular nations can have religions and lots of people that worship those religions within them. But it just means we are not ruled by one religion, meaning no religion should influence any law because we all have the freedom to worship however we want, including not worshiping. We are a secular fucking nation. Fuck. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And Earl, if you don't even realize what secular means, secular just means that we are not defined by religion. We're just not religion. Not religious. I'm not shitting on religion. I'm not saying you shouldn't worship. I'm saying that because we have the freedom of religion, no religion, whether that's Christianity, whether that's Judaism, whether that's Catholicism, anything, no religion in this country that we say is stronger the more diverse we are should ever influence any law. Plain and simple. I don't think Earl knows anything. Same, same. But I'm saying historically, I am telling you historically because you said we, including yourself, founded this nation. You didn't found anything. Um, just going to remind you of that because you would not be alive today. But They founded a secular nation. It is literally written in our Constitution. Reading is hard. Is listening hard as well? Like I've told you this 17 different ways. The freedom of religion in America was meant to allow different Christian denominations, not foreign. I'm not even fucking gonna read that shit. Mods, get this person off my. Cut them. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Really, say that to the Islamic communities in Michigan and NYC. Me say that we're a secular nation. Thank you, mods. I appreciate you all. Um, Grayson does say that he is excited to return home to Ecuador for football, as in what we Americans want to be different and call it um, soccer, but it's football. How come New York isn't secular then? Every religion can exist within a secular nation. What are you? Who cares if the fucking mayor's Muslim? You don't take on your mayor's religion. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry you're not feeling great today. Thor, I am now getting just enraged. He's got to be a bot. There's no way. There's no way that someone can have like that low of an IQ. We're talking infant shoe sizes at this fucking point. Oh my gosh. We're at 30,000. My goodness. Here we go. 5 seconds with Penelope. If you want to participate, feel free. If not, I'll be right back. Are you okay? Like, what? Earl Steinberg is a bot. Probably. But good conversation, I guess. It's keeping us going. How are you a bot? Sis, today someone is making lies about me being. Well, Thor, to give you short advice without the whole situation, I know from your statements on here, you're not. People are going to say things on the internet, people like Earl, that just simply aren't true. And if your actions prove that you are not that way, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. You guys call everyone who disagrees a bot. Earl, the thing is I am not only disagreeing with you. I have tried to talk you through your own argument, trying to get just a straight line because you're like a fucking squirrel and nothing ever connects. That's why people are calling you a bot, because you don't make any sense to the mass population. Goodbye, Earl by the Tixie Chicks. Dang. You're you're not even asking a question. That's the thing, Earl. What question are you even asking? God. Earl should clearly have his birthday at fucking Cracker Barrel. Should never watch any sports. Should basically never turn on the TV or listen to any media. Because guess what? People of color, the people that you say, are trying to reduce white people, weird. Yeah, they're all involved. And that also means, Earl, that you can leave this because there are plenty of people of color in this chat. Sorry. Donald Trump isn't Christian. He's not religious. He has said he isn't going to heaven. He literally, that evil man couldn't even put his hand on the Bible when being inaugurated. When he did take a picture with a Bible that he profits off of and grifts off of, by the way, he was literally holding the motherfucker upside down. He can't tell you one Bible verse. I don't mind people of color that have been part of America. Like, everyone has been a part of America because we are all immigrants. Oh my God. I I'm an immigrant. You're an immigrant. The only people who are not immigrants are the indigenous people who were here before us. Like, literally. This is crazy. This is absolutely fucking crazy. But thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate this. And if you haven't followed me yet, or you're new to the channel, I'm Dana. We're going to let Earl say some weird fucking thing again while I tell you my not so political beliefs. I simply believe that everyone should be able to do whatever they want as long as it does not harm anyone or anything, harm or unalive anyone or anything, or impede on or take away the rights of others. I also believe, what's up, Grayson, that The working class should have affordable and accessible healthcare, food, education, um, and healthcare, food, education. What am I missing? And housing. Plain and simple. He's trolling on purpose, probably. But I don't know, with a name like Earl, like what an unfortunate name to have. What an unfortunate. Like, no offense, but to some names, and I'm not someone who like loves my name, but I feel like some people, the way they named their children, they already didn't like them. Because like you hear some names and you're like, why would you ever put your child through that torture of naming him or her this? We have had people immigrating here since the beginning, including Irish people, including Italian people. That's why I keep using myself as an example, because when we first came here, we were not considered white. But you want to know, Earl, the beautiful thing, and this was Ronald Reagan in his farewell speech. Someone had written him a letter, and he read it. And I'm paraphrasing, this may not be 100% accurate, but essentially, he was being written a letter, and it said, the great thing about America is that you can go to France, but you can't become a Frenchman. You can go to Japan, but you can't become Japanese. You can go to Germany, but that doesn't make you a German. But from anywhere in the world, you can come to America and be an American. And that is what America is about and should be about. And that is how America would thrive. Simple as that, people. Simple as that. Can you imagine how fucking boring this country would be if it was just filled with people like me? I mean, I'm a pretty entertaining person, but like if it was only me and I had no other influence that had shaped my personality, I know I would be fucking like as boring as mayonnaise. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want to learn from other cultures. Thank you so much, Jolena. I want to learn from other cultures. I really do want to learn another language, if not more than one. It would be okay. No, it wouldn't be okay. It would be so boring. It would be so boring if it were only people of the same kind. I want diversity. I want new foods. I want new experiences. Yeah, but when our cities are falling apart, you realize the people immigrating here pay taxes. The tourists here simulate our economy. So we want people that don't look like you and me, Earl, to come here because it helps us. Like you, same beliefs. You would let in everyone, like you said. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Cujo. It's not that I would let in every single person. I think there should be a vetting process. Yes, I think if you have violent crimes, things like that, I think citizenship should be harder for you to maintain. But I think if you have no criminal record, why the fuck does it take a decade and thousands of dollars to get citizenship here to then be treated like fucking trash? Like it's crazy because people with those types of views and those values, they have the inability to see duality. And what I mean by that is I can say that I don't want open borders, but I can also say that our immigration system is heavily flawed, needs heavy reform, and both things can be true. I can love my country and also hate what the current government is doing in this country. People want to say that people that go out protesting, that are complaining, that are pointing out the terrible things happening in our country, it's because they hate America. No, Earl, it's because we love America, because we see the potential that we have, the good that we can do, and we want to reach that. That is the ultimate form of love. Because if you just blindly abide, that means you're in a fucking cult and you will never improve. Ooh, Sarah's going off today. You just answered that question, Earl. You just answered that question. The answer is in the question class. Everyone, let's help Earl out today because he must be having a bad day. Who would be American if everyone is American? Here are your choices: A, only white people, B, everyone, or C, no one. Put the answers in the comments, guys. Like, what? Exactly. B, choose B. Because if everyone is American, then everyone is American. And that's a beautiful thing because we learn from each other. We meet new people. We learn new things. We experience things we never would have. We have passion and empathy for people that we don't know because we have fucking souls and are positively morally guided. We question things because we want improvement, not out of hate. You hate because you follow without questioning anything. And I might be a little elevated, but I think that was like I just fucking mic dropped that shit, Earl. But we're at 37,000, almost 38. I am very quickly going to go visit Penelope. We have about 15 minutes left, so if you haven't hit follow yet, please do. And if you haven't followed me over on YouTube, also do that as well. I'm filming that video I was telling you guys about tonight about Alexia Moore, and I will release it tomorrow so you have some content. But yeah, looks like a, ooh, for sure. Damn, you're not an American. Report yourself. Oh shit. Yeah, that was some elevated knowledge though. I was pretty proud of myself in that one. I was as I was saying it, I was like, "Oh, this shit's kind of hitting. I like it." But I'm going to go visit Penelope. Feel free to do the same. And we're back. Sarah, thank you so much for the go popular. But yeah, it's just like it scares me that people don't ask questions. That they just blindly accept whatever knowledge. Because if something seems weird to me, my soul won't sit right until I fucking know why this seems weird and if it's legitimate. They just accept things for what they are. He literally said he was the president of peace and started a war. They supported the war. He said he was all about affordability. Then, because of his choices, inflation's higher, unemployment's higher, um, GDP is being devalued. The Treasury has declared our country insolvent. Um, but it's okay because we have to do it for the war he said he would never start. And you guys are somehow okay with that. What the fuck? The war is good. You want Iran to have a nuke? Well, here's the thing, Earl. Didn't you remember last June when we illegally had a conflict there? I have to be careful with my words for guideline reasons, but that conflict we had in June where we didn't get any retaliation, they said they destroyed their whole nuclear arsenal. So now you're saying they're there for a nuke. Then they said they were there when, because they had been caught in their lie, had to change the reason. They said they were there for the Iranian people and we needed a regime change. Well, they had a regime change. Then they didn't like it. So why are we there now? And why are we literally BOM being schools and hospitals and desalination plants? Because guess what? Destroying that type of infrastructure is by definition a war crime. I'm not saying, here's the thing about duality, Earl. I'm not saying that they had a great regime and I know what they were going through. However, it was not our issue to solve. Just like they were not solving our issue here because we are getting to that fucking severity level. I feel for the people there and I hope that they are safer than they were before. But now that we're bombing the shit out of them, we're not just bombing the government, we're bombing their fucking people. This is not to save them. America is not a hero. We have never been the fucking good guy. And I didn't learn this, unfortunately, till I was already out of the fucking military. You know what? You know what, Earl? You know what the president has done to women? Yeah. What about that? You're okay with that? So you're okay. You're like the president. You're not okay with it happening to Iranian women, but you also don't care if they lose their lives because you are illegally attacking them. But you don't care if it happens to American women. Got ya. Two wrongs don't make a right. I never said they did. I said you're recognizing and applying one, but not the other. So you're saying that one of those situations isn't wrong because you don't care about it. Here's the thing, Earl. I think it's terrible the way this conflict started. But if you follow the money, Earl, right up until October 7th, Benjamin Netanyahu, it's been proven that he funneled money to Qatar. Qatar was funding Hamas until that. It was all fucking orchestrated so they could start the G side. Please read a fucking book. Like, come on, bro. You can't be this behind. You cannot be on an app like this where you can in an age like this where you can access any type of information and you just choose not to. Insane to me. Guys, we have 11 minutes. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get to 50,000 before the top of the hour. But yeah, I don't agree with what happened on the 7th, but if you chase the money, it ends up with Netanyahu. And I also don't agree with what Netanyahu has been doing to Gaza and Palestine. You see how it all leads back to one person? Watch your BP, girl. I know. I know. We'll calm down. We'll calm down. But yeah, because here's the thing, Earl, you have fallen for what's called Zionist propaganda. Because guess what? The word Zionist and the word, or we'll use this example so it's easier. If I say I'm anti Zionist, that does not mean I am anti Semitic. Those are two different things. They are not synonymous, they are not the same word. The Zionists are calling things, when you call out Zionism, they say it's anti Semitic. You do the same thing and you have fallen for this propaganda. I am not saying you shouldn't be proud to be Jewish. Being Jewish, again, and being a Zionist are two completely different things. That's what not synonymous means. Earl is a Zionist or is very heavily under the influence of Zionist propaganda. But sorry, Earl, in the digital age, we're not going to sympathize with the sympathizers when this shit is over. Crazy. We're almost at 45. I'm going to visit Penelope at 45. We're going to easily get 50,000 likes by the top of the hour. Thank you so much. First of all, Judaism is a religion. Not all Jews practice. First of all, let's just go there. And again, being anti-Zionist and anti-Semitic is not the same thing. This made your day. Ariana, I'm glad you're getting some joy out of it. That's great that you're Jewish and proud. My best friend is Jewish and proud, but you know what she's not? A Zionist. Yeah. You know, well and good. That's a lie. You can go back about 4 December and see. Yep, absolutely. So again, it's, I don't understand how, but yes. You literally say the facts. You explain it. That Zionism, Semitism, it's not the same, right? Being Jewish and being a Zionist, it's not the same. So if I criticize Zionism, that does not mean I'm criticizing Jewish people. Like, again, you can't choose how you were born or anything. And the thing is I'm not even like criticizing the Jewish religion. That's fine too. But like, to think that the whole Middle East is yours to take. No, no, no. Exactly. No, it's Lauren, that is spot on. Zionism needs anti-Semitism to thrive. It's that simple. It's sick. Absolutely. Because everything they can, they're going to say that it's anti-Semitic. Which is why Thor, if you're still on here because you had your issue that you told me about, your actions are always going to say like the type of person you are. So if someone's going to call me, I've been called racist in here. I've been called homophobic in here when I'm gay. I've been called a lot of things in this chat, but I think my actions prove otherwise. And so you just got to let that roll off your back. You know what I mean? No, All right, guys, can you hear me now? It might be a little shitty, but can you hear me now? Oh no. Let me try again. Let's see. Let's try one more time. Sorry, guys, I had to use my lav mics earlier. Okay, you guys can hear me? Good? Yes. I heard that chant today a lot, actually. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Good to know. I think, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get a new lav mic. I dropped my receiver, and I think that's what's causing some issues. It's not a real estate agent. Exactly. Exactly. I just it's very hard for it to make sense to me. I don't fucking get how people just keep believing all of this propaganda. And it always brings me back, and I know I mention this all the time, but when I saw that APAC commercial, that was literally so cocky and said, guess what? We pay both Republicans and Democrats to vote pro Israel policies. And guess what type of commercial it was? It ended it by saying America first. Oh my God. Earl's a rapture prepper, isn't he? Guess what, Earl? I'm not religious. I don't have to agree with your religion. And again, being a Jewish person and practicing Judaism is fucking different. What the fuck? I know that you're Jewish, but me being secular means I have the freedom to not agree with your religion. I didn't say you shouldn't worship. Did I ever? No. Like, what the fuck? I would say I don't think his God would be appalled. I think his Jesus would be appalled. Who said you're not allowed to be Jewish? No one. Like, Earl, you please go take your heart medication. Make sure you go wear your compression socks because you need to get some blood flow to that brain. Earl is not understanding. There's nothing wrong with people being Jewish. There's nothing wrong with people practicing Judaism. However, being Jewish does not make you a practicer of Judaism. It just doesn't. It's not the same. Exactly. You're saying, literally, the whole time, by the way, his whole argument from the beginning, if you weren't here, was that basically white people are being reduced in America. And now he's on the Jewish rant because I literally said, I believe in diversity. I think it makes our country stronger. But now he's saying this shit. I'm slow. How am I slow? Please let me know. Because guess what? I'll give you an example. I'm Irish Italian. I'm also not Catholic. Crazy how that can happen. How a lot of people who share my same origins do practice Catholicism, but not all. And guess what? Being Irish and being Italian is not synonymous with being Catholic. Boom! No, I'm not. Earl is trying to say that because I don't agree with Judaism, which is my right, and I did not tell Earl he cannot believe in it. I just said I don't agree with it. He said that I am anti Jewish, and I explained to him that being born Jewish does not mean you practice Judaism. It's not synonymous, it is not the same, it is not correlated. I use the example that I am Irish Italian, and a lot of people who are Irish and Italian, especially Irish Italians, practice Catholicism. However, I do not. It is literally the same thing. It's in their propaganda book. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I could write their propaganda book. Like, it's just so fucking obvious and it's so repetitive, so unoriginal. Ugh, you can't be Jew. Oh my God. Do we have another bot? Do we have another bot? Because like you're missing the point as well. That you are missing the point as well. We can write it and throw throw it hard at them. I fear it still wouldn't happen. It's just like my boss likes me. I'm a person, I like lists. I like plans. I like to plan forward. I like to predict my days. Makes it easier for me to manage as I do have an autoimmune disease. So he thinks it's doing me a favor when I have to make lists for him that he never uses. It's the same shit. If I were to write this book, throw it at him, they're still not going to open it. Sarah, what'd you say? You can what'd you say earlier, Sarah? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them or you can't make them critically think. It's called 2009 Global Language Dictionary. It explains to them how to respond to art. No way, really? I'm gonna Lauren, I'm gonna trust you on this and I'm gonna write this down because I want to look at that because that's crazy. Language Dictionary. All right, thanks for that one. Google it, friend. I will indeed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them critically think. It is, it's hard. But guys, let's get to 55K right before we end. Oh my God, it has a pic of a little earth in front of it. Okay. Jewish and proud. Long live Donald Trump. Well, biology would disagree with the long live Donald Trump, and it's great that you're Jewish and proud. I never said you shouldn't be. You were the one that took that stance. They have a college version too. Ooh. Wait, what side do I lean? Here's the thing. I believe that it's beyond right versus left. It is the power versus it's the people versus the perversely privileged. But my political views are this: I think anyone should be able to do whatever they want as long as it does not harm or unalive anyone or anything, or impede on or take away the rights of others. And I also think that the working class should be able to have accessible and affordable healthcare, housing, food, and education. You said biology, so you have to be level-headed. Yeah, I mean, I am looking at my degree in respiratory therapy and in medical assisting and yeah, so but that doesn't make me better than anyone. So I agree with socialism. I agree with like a democratic socialism. I think we are so far into a capitalistic mindset and capitalistic society that going straight for socialism would not, it just wouldn't get us where we want to be. But I think implementing socialist policies while having capitalism is what would be ideal for America. I believe in a free market, and socialism does have a free market. It's communism that doesn't. But just to tell you where I am. And again, Earl, how am I an anti Semite when I simply said, I love that you're Jewish and proud. However, Judaism isn't practiced by all Jewish people. That's And Lauren, that's why I just keep letting him talk. That's why I just keep letting him talk. But guys, it is now after the 2 o'clock hour for me here in San Diego. We are at 56,000 likes. I appreciate you guys so much, even you, Earl. Hopefully, even if it doesn't make sense right now, it will make sense down the road for you. But I love you guys. Hit follow if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, YouTube. It was nice to see you, Grayson. It was nice to see you, Ryan. Thank you guys so much for the support. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.